Dear brothers, we continue today our series, inshallah, in knowing who is Allah. As we had talked before, when Musa was called in the valley, Allah Azza wa Jal introduced himself. He said, Innani an Allah. This is me, Allah, fa'budni, so worship me. Wa aqim as-salata li dhikri, and establish the prayer for my remembrance. So Islam is surrendering yourself, your will, to the Creator himself. We talked last time about the attributes, the Creator, the Fashioner, right? Al-Khaliq, Al-Bari, Al-Musawwir. And today, inshallah, we talk about different attributes. They're all interconnected. Subhanallah, we affirm all of them. They play together, but each one has its own individuality, right? So today I talk to you about the name of Allah Azza wa Jal, Al-Malik. Al-Malik. In Al-Malik means the owner. You know, we live in a world that's obsessed with ownership. We're always looking, checking our bank accounts, right? My money, my retirement, my career, my future, my house. You wander through the green meadows in your backyard and say, this is my land. You reach for the ripe fruit and murmur, my harvest. You drink from the rain he sends, never tasting the cost. You rest beneath the shade on a tree on a porch, and you claim it as yours. Those children whose laughter fills your home, they are his. Trust in your care. Those cars that carry you along the road, his provision. The buildings, you rise proud and tall, the dust that will be one day sink back into his earth. You clutch to them and you say, mine, 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 as your heartbeat doesn't belong to him. As if your bones were shaped by your own hands. As if your time will not return to his keeping. Let's pause and think. Oh heart, he owns it all. Nothing truly is ours. It never did. It always belonged to him. So let's have our souls soften. Love him, the true owner. Let's thank him for the sweetness of our tongues, the warmth in our chest, the unseen mercies that hold us upright. Allah Azza wa Jal never demands rent from us for the soil he cradles under our footsteps. He does not ask us to feed him. ما أريد منهم من رزق. He does not want your provision. ولا أريد أن يطعمون. You do not need to feed him. So, always remember him. Always connect with him. You can remember that you cannot draw a single breath without his permission. Fall in love with the one who owns all of you, your treasures, and you will ever become. He doesn't only own dominion, you know. Many times you own your house, but you don't control the neighborhood. Many times you control, but you don't own. But Allah Azza wa Jalla is not just Al-Malik. He's also Al-Malik. He doesn't just own. He rules, he judges, he controls, he orders, he protects, he punishes. He is Al-Malik, and he is Al-Malik. But his kingship, his sovereignty, is not ruled by borders. You know, if you're the governor of New York, you don't have any authority in Overland Park. Where does the authority of Allah Azza wa Jal ends? It's unrestricted. It's unlimited. He is the one whose throne extends over the heavens and the earth. Allah Azza wa Jal says, ثم استوى إلى السماء وهي دخان فقال لها وللأرض ائتيا طوعا أو كرها قالتا أتينا طائعين. Then he turned towards the heavens while it was still smoke and said to it and to the earth, come willingly or unwillingly. They said, we come willingly. The heaven bowed, the earth submitted. That's Allah. That's where his rule is. And we still hesitate. Should we not, with trembling hearts and awakened souls, bow also? Allah Azza wa Jal rules doesn't end. He is the ruler over life and death, over glory and dust. Not a king whose reign ends with death. His sovereignty is not temporary. It's not passed from hand to hand or threatened by rebellion. Everything was allowed with the previous king, now everything is forbidden, everything. Allah Azza wa Jal kingship is forever, eternal. He begins the chapter, read Surah Al-Mulk. That's why we read Surah Al-Mulk, the chapter called the sovereignty. When you read it, you understand the borders or the limits or the unlimited sovereignty that Allah Azza wa Jal have over all things. Look how it starts. Blessed is the one in whose hand is the dominion, and he is capable of all things. Show me a king that can rival this. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. The one who created death and life to test you, which of you is best in deeds, and he is the Almighty, the most forgiving. Read through the surah and you will see his dominion from his dominion comes life and death, the stars that adorn the sky, the birds that defy gravity, the rain that revives the earth, the provision that Allah Azza wa Jal gives to us. Read through this. هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور. He submitted the earth to us so we can walk through its pathways and make living and provision. He provided us, the provider, الرزاق. وكلوا من رزقه, and eat from that provision. وإليه النشور, and to him you will return, to where we have ever belonged. Read through the surah. He is the one who gives us ears to hear, eyes to see, hearts to feel. هو الذي أنشأكم وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة. Little thank we give, قليلا ما تشكرون. That's Allah Azza wa Jal, Al-Malik. The one who made the earth beneath our feet. The one day will fold it beneath our graves. When you read the conclusion of the surah, and you'll read through the surah, أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي هُوَ جُنْدٌ لَكُمْ يَنصُرُكُم. Who is that army that you have beside Allah Azza wa Jal? أَمَّنْ هَذَا الَّذِي يَرْزُقُكُمْ إِنْ أَمْسَكَ رِزْقَهُ. Who is that who can provide you if he holds his provision? That's Allah Azza wa Jal, the King. Why are we submitting to anything on this earth but the Creator himself? And how does this majestic surah ends? قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَصْبَحَ مَاؤُكُمْ غَوْرًا فَمَنْ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِمَاءٍ مَعِينٍ. He concludes it with a question that shakes the soul. See, if your water were to sink into earth, who then could bring you flowing water? Who could bring it back? You don't own the water, your breath, or time. We just borrow it what Al-Malik and Al-Malik allows us to hold for a moment. And we are being tested. الذي خلق الموت والحياة, to test you with what you were given. Allah Azza wa Jalla is not just Al-Malik, not just Al-Malik. He is the owner of sovereignty. Combine them together. Maalek Al-Mulk. Every kingdom, every crown, every creature belongs to him only. He is the one who grants and the one who takes. He is the one that gives authority and the one that removes it. He raises the forgotten and brings down the arrogant. We have seen it with our own eyes many times. He gives the nameless honor and he strips the throne from kings. قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. Say, oh Allah, honor of sovereignty. You give sovereignty to whom you will. You take it from whom you will. You honor whom you will. And you humble whom you will. They walk proudly. I control the world. With my pen, I can control the fate of every human on this earth. Who are you, man? Remember Fir'aun. Remember An-Namrud. Remember that, Namrud? The story is in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah. When this young man in front of him, Ibrahim, challenged him, this tyrant who made himself divine, would kill people, torture people, and he would tell him, أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِي حَاجَّ إِبْرَاهِيمَ فِي رَبِّهِ أَنْ أَتَاهُ اللَّهُ الْمُلْكَ إِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّيَ الَّذِي يُحْيِي وَيُمِيتُ قَالَ أَنَا أُحْيِي وَأُمِيتُ قال إبراهيم فإن الله يأتي بالشمس من المشرق فأتي بها من المغرب فبهت الذي كفر والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. So have you not considered the one who argued with Abraham about his Lord merely because Allah had given him kingship? When Ibrahim said, my Lord is the one who gives life and causes death, he said, I give life and I cause death. I do that every day in my court. So Ibrahim replied, Allah brings the sun from the east. So bring it from the west. So he was not ignorant. He ruled empires. He commanded armies. Yet he was blinded by his arrogance. So the disbeliever was dumbfounded. And Allah does not guide the wrong people, the wrongdoing people. فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. He did not bow. But his rule was not ended with a sword or a rebellion or another tyrant king. The stories say that his whole kingdom was ended up with a little bug entered his ear and he lost his balance and he fell. The wind, the waves, the beasts, and the birds all bow to Allah Azza wa Jal. وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ. And the stars and the trees submit and prostrate to Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal is the king who needs no crown. To understand Maalek Al-Mulk, the owner of sovereignty, is to strip ourselves from illusion. Nothing we own is truly ours. The faithful shepherd once said about his sheep. He had sheep and they asked him, can you give us from these sheep? Are they yours? And he answered, they are Allah's property in my hand, under my control, but they are Allah's property. That's how we should do and think about all of this with what Allah has given us. It's His. That's why when we have a loss of health, of wealth, of beloved ones, of all of this, what do we say? وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Give glad tidings to those who are patient. Why? Because we say, إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. To Allah we belong and to Him we will be returning. So that's Al-Malik, Al-Malik, Maalek Al-Mulk. And for every Namrud who denies in arrogance, there is a Yusuf who acknowledges his king in success. As he said, remember Yusuf, the man, the little boy who was thrown in the well and who went through hardship after hardship, ended up in prison for his chastity, for modesty, and eventually Allah Azza wa Jal put him as the king. Subhanallah. He gave him kingship. He gave him control over earth treasures at that time. So Yusuf didn't just gloat in front of everyone. See, I made it from the bottom to the top. Did he say that? Look at Yusuf alayhi salam, what he said. Rabbi, qad ataytani min al-mulk. Your Lord, you have granted me a portion of sovereignty. He acknowledged the source. Not I earned, not I deserved, but you gave me. Right? And the end belongs to Him too. وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَإِلَى اللَّهِ تُرْجَعُ الْأُمُورِ. To Allah belongs whatever in the heavens and on earth, and to Allah all matters will return. And return they will. A fragile creature under His command only care about he thinks, not no one else. يَحْلِفُونَ بِاللَّهِ لِيُرْضُوكُمْ وَرَسُولُهُ وَاللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَحَقُّ أَن يُرْضُوهُ إِن كَانُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. The person who submits to Allah Azza wa Jal, he's not afraid of people. He doesn't care what people think about him. He shows up to the Fajr prayer just because he's doing it for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. What else matters? What else matters? Oh, I'm late. I don't want to show up late. The brothers, what are they going to say about me? Who cares? Care about only what Allah thinks about you. What Allah sees in you. Show Him your honesty, your truthfulness. You know, Anas ibn Nadir, when a battle of Badr happened, there were very few against a large army, and they won, and Anas was not in the city. And he felt sad that he missed it. And then the second battle happened, and he was out, and Quraysh was attacking, about to annihilate the Muslims and the Prophet. And Anas just had arrived to Medina. And he's like, where is the Prophet? Where is the people? They're like outside. And he puts his armor and he runs. And he says, now it's the time to fulfill the promise, because he had promised before. If we meet them again, Allah and His Messenger will see what I'm going to be doing. And he didn't care about anything. He just went. And the whole army was turning back. The Prophet was killed. That was the rumor. There is nothing left. Why are we fighting even? They killed us. It's done. And Anas says, what? What are you doing? قُومُوا فَمُوتُوا عَلَى مَا مَاتَ عَلَيْهِ. You worship the Prophet or Allah? Go. And he continues to go in. And they basically not just kill him, mutilate him. Butchery. Only his sister knew him from his fingertip. And Allah Azza wa Jalla reveals in the Quran, مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ رِجَالٌ صَدَقُوا مَا عَاهَدُوا اللَّهَ عَلَيْهِ. From the believers, men were fulfilled what they have promised Allah Azza wa Jalla. So that's when you deal directly with Maalek Al-Mulk. Because kings fall when they forget the King of Kings. And remember, Allah will be the one resurrecting your soul. It's not the king. Not the king that you have, right? It's Allah. That's why we read in Surah Al-Fatiha every day. Why is it there? Maliki Yawmiddin, the owner of the day of judgment. On the day of judgment, or the day of recompense, when He asks you, you're going to stand in front of Him only. You're going to be accountable to Him only. فَسُبْحَانَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكِ فَسُبْحَانَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ مَلَكُوتُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. So glorified is He in whose hand is the dominion of all things, and to Him you will be returned. He is the one who made fire from the green trees. He is the one who created man from a drop of fluid. He is the one who placed the sun in its orbit and made the earth a cradle. So walk humbly, go gratefully, and serve truthfully. Because to know Al-Malik is to know that you are held by the one who needs nothing, but still gives you everything. And to know Maalek Al-Mulk, remember, no one can control your fate but the Almighty. But the Almighty. Like there was one rightful and just governor. And he had an order from his sultan to do something that was not going to please Allah Azza wa Jal. So that man was ready to do it. And then Al-Hasan al-Basri reminds him that on the day of judgment, that man is not going to be a king anymore. Allah will be the king. So would he please that king by angering and gaining the wrath of the Almighty King or not? So that's always remember. Who are you pleasing? Allah or a temporary thing that goes away?